Xylo Ghost.
Okay, I started, Nick.
Pyro Ghost entered channel. But can't say that moved in from LE dazed and confused by Xylo Ghost.
So, Nick, I'm
Yeah.
gonna leave myself in Mumble, I think. And maybe just hop into... No, actually, that won't work.
What are you trying to
I
do?
was trying to see how I could record this while you were playing the other session.
Oh, don't worry about
Okay.
that. Yeah. The other sessions are mostly just going to be RP stuff, so I wouldn't worry about it too
Okay.
much.
Hello, I'm back, sorry.
Welcome. Just waiting on Pork, I think. It's not here yet.
Well, his character was dancing.
He's in the game moving around.
Alright, well. In that case... In that case... Alright, so we're going to do a quick recap of last session. Felix, wounded, was taken by the town doctor and treated overnight. In his fever dreams, he learned of a new power hidden within his books. Later on that same night, strange shadowy occurrences took place and were only visible to Lelafan and Stern Luna. And meanwhile, Mars and Fawn assisted the city guard in taking a shift before dawn. The whole time, Momomi was asleep. The following morning, you all planned a counterattack, eventually settling on a risky baiting plan in the Central Shroud, and successfully defeated another ambush from the familiar bandits from the day before. Upon searching what appeared to be their leader, you found an illustration of Jun marked with a strange black emblem. Looked like a staff with a single wing on it. Resolving to return the bodies of the twin adders that fell to the very same bandits, you discuss your future moves in the aftermath of the battle.
Momo.
So has only Mars seen the notes
So far, yes, that's correct. He has not shared with the group yet.
Does it look familiar?
The symbol?
Yes.
You have not seen the symbol before.
Okay.
As they're looking at that, I yell up to Momo, when you're getting shot at, can you please not be standing on the highest thing around?
I need to see. I need to see where they
But
are.
you can duck down and then get back up there when you shoot.
But I'm small enough they can't hit me. I'm okay. And I give you a thumbs up.
Okay. What you got there, Mars?
I tucked the photo back in the pouch.
Ooh, okay. So as you're doing that, Jin is gonna approach, from the other side, and she's gonna say, "How are you all looking? Is everyone all right? Who took the most damage? Let's see. Okay, Momomi looking a little roughed up there. I don't mean pork Jin
Pork
already.
got healed.
Yeah.
What?
Momomi,
I
you
feel
looking
like-
all right over there?
Pork looks like he's got like a bunch of fucking cuts and blood all over him, but apparently he's doing well anyways.
Yes.
I start looking at my appendages to see if any of them are missing.
I'm okay. It
You
just grazed my
find
cheek a little.
you find that none of your appendages are missing, and you have your entire body,
That's
and
good.
somehow you have changed from a
What are you talking about?
your name,
Mikote
sir?
to
What's
a
your name?
I don't know what you mean.
I'm gonna reload my musket again, and then.
Okay.
Can I scan to see to make sure that there's no one like around?
Yeah. Roll me a perception. It appears that there is nothing around, but the rain is kind of obscuring your vision a little bit. And as we're transitioning, from super early morning to around midday, a fog is setting in inside this valley that's beside the cliffside.
How far is the town that we came from?
It's about 15-20 minutes marching to Salina.
Motion over to the rest of the group, like putting the pouch in one of the sleeves of my armor.
Okay, add 25 gold to your to your cash
Okay.
money.
I didn't realize there was money included in the pouch.
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah. There's 25 gold as well as a photo. So just pocket it, and then you can discuss it later if you decide to.
Yeah. I put it in one of the sleeves of my armor, and I turn around and I motion towards them. People should go back to town. Get carts for the bodies.
Shouldn't we go and find
We
their
wanna
base
get-
of operation?
Felix does raise a good point. Potentially, they could have more bandits in the forest. How is everyone looking health-wise?
I'm untouched, and I kind of
Alright.
like wiggle my arm like with the leader's bandana on it tied to it. Do you think maybe this could get us some leeway if we did find more bandits?
I think that could get us killed.
Where's at the point? Like, how else would we have gotten the bandit's bandana in the first place if we didn't?
We left early morning, right?
Capture the bandit.
Yeah. So you guys woke up around 6 o'clock in the morning.
Okay.
Discussed for a little while, and then made your way there. So the whole combat took from, maybe like 10-15 minutes total. So it's probably like 9 o'clock right now.
So we could very well take the bodies back, take a quick rest up, and then we could head back out and look for the bandit camp.
I did waste pretty much all my power in that fight, honestly.
Okay.
Don't regret it though. It kind of lit that bandit leader up.
That's true. Are you guys gonna loot any of the bodies?
I would inspect the. Well, are we doing the only if you are proficient in it thing now? Or
Okay,
how are we
so
doing it?
what we're gonna do is,
I need to change my stats, I guess.
yeah. So for regular stuff like athletics or acrobatics, you don't have to be proficient, and you'll just roll normally. But for specific things like perception is also like kind of okay. But like persuasion, intimidation, medicine, nature, survival, stealth, sleight of hand, religion, performance, investigation, intimidation, insight is fine because you don't need like an actual skill to do insight, right? It's like not something you have to train. So essentially, what you're gonna look through is if you want to do a skill check, just make sure that it's not something that you have to train to be able to do. And then if you do need to train, you need proficiency. That way
Okay.
it'll make people who have specific proficiencies feel a little bit more unique.
Is investigation proc only then?
I'm gonna say investigation is okay not to be proficient. So you
Alright.
can try, but it's like
So
Yeah.
you mean more like history, medicine,
yeah,
nature?
if it's a skill that you learn, that like require like that a normal person wouldn't really be good at, then we're gonna say that okay, you need a proficiency for it. But if it's things like like you can be acrobatic, it's just not very good at it, right? Versus like animal handling. If you have no idea how to deal with animals, like you don't have proficiency with it, you just don't have any idea how to deal with animals, even if your stat that goes with it is high, for example. So yeah, you can examine the body.
Yeah, I just want to examine the leader then, since I'm already like I already took his bandana, and I want to see like if he's got
Okay.
anything on him, or maybe an emblem, or literally anything like
Okay.
noteworthy.
So Mars, did you investigate and retrieve things from the body in sight of people, or were people not paying attention for this?
No, I was pretty blatant about it.
You were pretty blatant about it. Okay, so fine, you're gonna walk over and you're gonna bend over this guy's body. He's starting to get wetter now that his bandana is gone, and the drier spot where his pouch used to be is starting to darken with moisture on his leather. And can you roll me an investigation?
Damn.
Okay, so examining his body, you notice that he does not have any specific emblems on him, as far as you can tell. He is wearing. Let me pull up. What is he wearing? He's wearing studded leather armor, and you see, kind of on a strap behind his back, a series of daggers that is kind of like hanging, presumably to be used as a throwing item. And you see 2 scimitars, well, on the floor where he died. Aside from that, you don't see any markings of any kind or any hints with regards to his background.
I know it's kind of messed up in a sense, but this guy's kind of loaded to the teeth. If anyone wants a weapon, or maybe his armor.
Can we bring some of it back to sell?
You can bring what you can carry, yeah. So he's got 5 daggers, 2 scimitars on the ground, studded leather armor as well. So you guys can bring
We
what
have
you
2
can
pack
carry.
mules, by the way.
So
Pardon?
does he have
I'm
anything in the
making
pouch,
it.
or is it just like a like a pouch on his hip or something?
Sorry, please repeat.
Is there anything in the pouch, or is it just like a purse he has like attached to
Oh,
his
so yeah,
belt
so
or
he used
something?
to have a pouch there, but Mars has it now, right? So because he put it inside of his in one of his sleeves. So what you see on the bandit's body is a belt with a pouch removed, and that like section of his leather armor is it's lighter than the rest of his armor because like it was kept dry by the pouch being in the way, right? But now that it's
Gotcha.
exposed to the rain, it's darkening with the color.
So I picked up my carbuncle and I'm holding him like out, like my arms completely out, like I have him underneath of his front arms, and he's just kind of looking at me, and I'm like,
Yeah, the carbuncle, tilts
"Hello,
its
little
head.
guy."
It understands you, but it does not respond. You kind of can tell from
I just
looking
kind
at
of
it,
turn
the
him and
eyes.
look at him, and I'm like, "We're gonna have to figure more out about you, but could you go back to being a piece of paper right now?"
As you say that, it jumps out of your arms, and before it lands, it shimmers out of existence with only a page kind of floating down. That kind of floats really gently and slips into your backpack without having you open
I'll
it.
study that when we're not out in the middle of the woods.
Yeah. To accentuate that point, Jin's gonna walk over and be like, "Nice fireworks show there, Felix."
It's the first time I've done that on purpose. Now I know what it does.
Sounds like it was definitely planned.
Yes.
So,
But I would like to search real fast to see if I can see where the tracks where all these people came from.
yeah. Roll me.
Could that be
investigation.
survival?
Wait. Yeah. You can roll a survival instead. If you are
I am.
proficient.
Yep.
Of course you are, Mr. That's your topaz. Try with your regular stats.
Is
Okay,
that number right?
um,
Oh, I just have no wisdom.
6.
Oh. Could I
Yeah.
just take the
So
initiative?
you have proficiency is +2
Could I
though,
take
right?
the investigative modifier instead then? It'd be a +6.
Yeah, well, you add for a survival, so you get a
Okay.
survival. But I will use the roll that you got from your carbuncle, which was what?
10.
Oh, you did it?
10 plus 2.
10 plus 2? Okay, so you got 10 plus,
2.
what is it, 1?
It's the
What's
same.
your proc? 10 plus 2? Okay, so you got 12. Okay, so, you make your way further up the cliffside on the left. Sorry, not the cliffside, but it's, it's a hill. So you make your way further up along the hillside, and you notice fading tracks that continue up. Hold on, let me just draw it out really quickly. You notice fading tracks that continue up along this way.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then make a turn into this path that goes further northwest into the forest. And the forest is more dense as you continue along this path until the path more or less disappears. And after that, you don't see very many tracks.
But it looks like they
because
came from
after
further
the rain.
upriver then. Okay.
Yeah.
I make a note of it.
Mhm.
I take the body that's up here and I drag him to the rest of the bodies.
Okay. Let me just move them there.
Mhm.
Yeah. Is here
Yep,
good?
that's fine.
Okay.
It looks like their camp might be from further up the river. They're fading quick, but we know the
Does anyone
direction.
know if? Does anyone know if there's a bounty on bandits?
Jin was kind of going to interject and be like, the townspeople did not put in a request with the Hall of Novices to eliminate the bandits, but we did hear from the Twin Adders scouts, rest their souls, that there was a bandit issue that did need to be dealt with. So presumably, if you did want some remuneration for your work, you'd be able to get it from the Twin Adders once we return to Gridania. And I think that the bandits bandana will suffice for identification of
I'm like mid kneeling down, taking my greatsword out and grabbing the captain's head when she says that, and I'm just like, oh, never mind.
a little too gruesome. I think the bandana will suffice. Yes, she's gonna give you a thumbs up with a slight grimace in her face.
I just shrug at her.
Should we hide our evidence of being here before we go?
In case the bandits
Won't,
find it?
won't the rain do that for us?
I kind of motioning to the bodies.
That was the idea.
Yeah, we could throw
Two
them in
people
the
stand
river,
here.
right?
Wait for guard. The rest of you go back to town. Get carts.
Okay.
Oh, we're taking the bandits too?
You should. Leaving corpses is never a good idea.
Okay. So
Beans get to them.
yeah. So will you guys decide who's heading back, who's standing guard? You guys can do this out of
I don't
character.
have much
it's, like,
left,
not really.
so-
I mean, I can stay.
Okay.
I will
I can
drag
stay.
the rest of the bodies over to this corner.
All right, so
I'm trying to
Momo
find
and
you.
myself are
Oh,
staying
okay.
then.
Is there
Take
a
the road
higher
back.
point
It'll be faster.
than where I was?
No, you this was the highest point. Yeah.
I'm gonna climb back up here and go prone and then keep an eye out to see if anyone comes around from the direction that Felix said that they came from.
Okay.
Or seems like where their tracks are leading, which is like
Okay,
this way
so
or
you're
something.
going to feel free to use the marker if you guys like. So you're gonna keep an eye on this area, right? And you're readying an attack, I presume.
Well, no, I'm not gonna ready an
Okay.
attack specifically. Because I don't want to give away my position.
Okay.
So-
So are you gonna try and stealth it?
Yes.
Okay.
Mm,
Go ahead
go
and
prone and
roll.
try to hide.
Yeah, just go ahead and roll just like a stealth, so I know.
Right, I'm gonna I'm gonna wait. Where am I? Whoa. Why
Oh yeah,
am
sorry.
I moving?
Yeah, so you want to be there. And then Carbuncle's gone.
Before I leave, I say to the two of them, no need to get over your heads. Don't be afraid to run.
I am. I'm gonna once Felix moves. I'm gonna plop my ass down on this rock.
Yeah.
Take out my greatsword and just start, like
Sharpening?
not necessarily sharpening, but cleaning it.
Ah, okay. You know, as you pull your greatsword out, there isn't too much blood on it. There's a little bit of black residue that's kind of on it, and as you with I don't know, let's just say you have a cloth. Like as you like wipe it down with your cloth and the rain kind of hits it, the once silver of your greatsword, it's slightly darker, almost not quite case hardened, but it definitely has a grayer sheen to it. Still shiny in the dim-ish light of the overcast, but not quite as silver as it once was. Okay, so I presume that we've got.
I will
Felix
in
also
just a
heading
moment,
back to
but how
town.
long until does it take to go back? We're going to be gone probably like
It's 20 minutes. It's
an
20
hour
minutes
total.
there.
Okay.
And then presumably, well, with carts, I guess it would take a little bit.
I want to keep you two safe, so I'm going to give a parting gift to Momo. Momo, you say if you need to run, you can run
Yep.
quick. And I give you Longstrider.
Okay.
And then I leave.
Okay,
It
perfect.
feels like my legs have grown, but I'm still just as short as I always was.
I wait until Felix is out of earshot, and I just look at Momo and I say, "Well, guess I'm chopped liver, huh?"
I look at you in silence.
All right. So yeah,
Okay, good time.
you guys head back to town, or a few of you head back to town.
I'm going to say one thing on the way back.
While
Mars, I didn't get a chance to thank you this morning for carrying me out of there. Yesterday.
just don't let it happen again.
That's why I got my shield and I give it a nice tap and then continue walking.
You know, Jin's gonna. Sorry,
I-
go ahead.
No, go ahead with your Jin thing.
Oh yeah. Jin's gonna laugh and kind of interject like that shield won't stop an arrow to the knee though. Should pay attention to your surroundings a little bit more, and then she slaps him in the back, really heavily. Sorry about that.
I start trailing behind a little bit, and I pull on the back of Jun's clothes to motion for Jun to take a few steps back behind the rest of the group as they continue walking forward.
Okay, yeah. So, she follows your cue and takes a few steps back.
Right.
Says,
I slide the pouch out of my my sleeve, and I motion over to Jun. Any idea what this means? Looks like they were after you.
she looks at the picture. You know, her eyes scrunch up. She is kind of trying to process what's going on. So it takes a minute for her response, as she kind of like grins a little bit and says, "It's nice of you to trust me. What if this was a rendezvous thing and they actually wanted to team up with me?" As she shoots you a cheeky grin, and she takes the photo and kind of like rips out the flag section of, or the emblem section of it, and kind of rolls it up into a small little paper roll. As she stuffs it in her pocket, she says, "Just kidding. If I wanted to take you guys out, it would have happened already. I'll have to investigate this though. I am not quite sure why they were looking for me, but it seems I've put the rest of the party in unnecessary danger, and I would like to apologize for that. Like, the examination is intended to be pretty safe."
Just keep an eye out. And I tuck the pouch back into my sleeve, and I make a note to split the gold when I get back.
Okay. She says thanks as she kind of like jogs to catch back up with the party and the rest of them.
That said, could Can I commit the emblem to memory?
Yes, you can.
Cool.
It's quite long. I'm gonna just do a really shitty drawing. You guys can all see, right? So it looks kind of like this, and then it's all colored in, right?
Yeah.
Okay, do you guys see that?
Yeah, it's the Caudicus sap
Yeah.
with one wing and no
Yeah.
snake.
It looks like it's a caduceus, but because it's all black, it can also be
Like a
kind of misconstrued as a scythe. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
That was the intention behind the design for it.
I don't know why, but I just got some real Trugdor vibes. You got
Angry.
it.
Okay,
That's
so
so true.
yeah, you guys arrive in town, and as you kind of approach the bridge, you see that the guards are up and bustling, and Oryx, which is the guard captain that you guys met the night before, well, specifically Mars and Fawn met the night before, is kind of leaning on one of the walls, smoking a pipe. His glasses not there, and his gray hair kind of dampened by the rain. As you guys approach, he stops leading. He takes one last inhale from his pipe before tapping the contents out into the river and walking across the bridge to greet you guys. He says, "Well, that was fast. You seem to be missing two. Nothing bad, I hope."
No, they're just watching where we were fighting the bandits. We need a couple carts and maybe a few pairs of extra hands to get rid of the bodies and give some proper burials.
He goes, excellent. It sounds like you guys didn't have too much trouble then. And he kind of like turns back, and there's two guards that are exiting the wall, kind of running around to continue their watch. He kind of like snaps at them really quickly and gestures them over. And they come. There's the two guards come over. They look like twins, or maybe you're just really bad at discerning between individuals. But he kind of tells them like, we need two carts and the gift that I prepared for these wonderful adventurers. And they're like, oh yeah, of course. And they kind of run off.
Don't have them lighten the guard just yet. We
Don't
may
have them what now?
Don't have them lighten the guard. We may have taken out that one ambush, but we didn't find their camp. We'll head over to Gridania, have them send adders over, and sweep the area. But
Okay.
we're just beginners.
Okay. His face darkens a little bit as he kind of like leans forward, and he says, "Oh, don't worry. The village is safe as long as I'm here." And he kind of not brandishes, but he almost as though this is like a ritual he's done several dozens of times, right? He rests both of his hands on the pommel of his sword that's the sheathed at his side, and caresses the top, and he says, "I'll take care of the village if anyone shows up," says Oryx. And he turns around and he like waves at you guys from behind. He says, "Take care of the bodies. Enjoy the gift." As he walks away, and as he walks back into like his tiny little hut, presumably to do more paperwork, you see two guards running out of the village proper, carrying or dragging carts, and someone else, a third guard, comes out from between the gates, and he is carrying, or sorry, not carrying, he's leading. Excuse me. 1 second, I gotta find the journal entry. He is leading. You guys see that?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, he is leading a chocobo drawn cart. And then he kind of walks up and he hands the reins to who's in front. I guess Mars is in front because people were he was being spoken to. So he hands the reins over to Mars and says, "This is Oryx's gift. It should make things easier for you when you need to go to Gridania."
Oh, my.
And the chocobo kind of like approaches approaches Mars and goes, "Wah!" And then kind of like pecks at his hand a little bit, holding the reins. And
This is a bit much, isn't it?
the guard just shrugs and says, "We don't have money to pay you. We already put most of the town's funds toward the Sahuagin subjugation. Presumably, Oryx doesn't really have much use for this anymore since he's more or less retired here. So, you guys can have it. It's not as though it was getting a lot of use, and this old Choco needs to be walked around. It's not fair to keep him indoors all the time."
Well, we thank you for the gift.
Says, "Don't thank me." And as he walks away, and then the two guards kind of they shuffle up like, they're kind of out of breath carrying the carts, and they're like, "We don't really have more chocobos, so we'll have to come with you guys and carry the cart manually." But, they look kind of like really oversized wheelbarrows.
Stay with the town. We'll take care of the carts.
Okay, so
We'll send porters back from Gridania to get them back to you.
wait, the bodies?
The carts. We're
Oh,
going
the
to
cart.
take.
Oh, I see. So what are
So,
you gonna? Okay. Yeah, tell me what the plan is.
Will, and I turn back to the rest of the group. Felix, Gafan, you two will man one of the carts. I'll do the other one. Jun and Lilithan can stay in the chocobo drawn cart and trail behind us. We'll head up. We'll gather up the bodies. Adders in one cart. Bandits in the other.
Okay, so the carts are gonna probably only be able to fit about 5 bodies on them, and the carriage can fit 4 people seated and 1
Somebody
person
can walk
driving,
back if we
or
have to.
1 person driving.
That's fine. I mean, like, because the rate at which we're going back is going to be varied. The people in the cart will get back first, and then the other people taking the in the chocobo cart will come back first, and then the people taking the carts individually will be a bit behind, and that's just because we're getting rid of the corpses.
Like back to Gridania, or
Yeah, back to Gridania.
Oh, so you're gonna do like one group does the carts and one group does the
Chocobo, yeah.
So one group kind of like goes back and forth with the carts to Selena, presumably, and then part of the group will leave early to go to Gridania. Is that the plan?
I think we should take the. Well, what do you think? Should we take the adder corpses back to Gridania?
I would say that their headquarters are there, so they would probably prefer that the corpses were back to Gridania rather than left in Selena, and then you send people from Gridania to retrieve them afterwards. It would save the adders an extra trip. Yeah, and you could return them to their families sooner, but logistically speaking, there isn't too much of a difference.
I turn to Felix and Gafan. You two will be manning the cart. What do you want to do?
I think it's best if we try not to split up as much as possible. We should probably try to stick together.
Yeah.
Just have the
I
cart
agree.
slow down.
I'm still not a fan of how we split just now, so I think safety above all is better concerning this, because we're all going to be moving pretty slowly.
Then we'll just travel.
We're already going to be vulnerable at the speed we're traveling.
We'll just travel at walking pace with people cycling out for who mans the carts.
Okay.
So what will happen is everyone will take shifts pushing the cart or pulling the carts, along with just like people sitting
for
in
Momo.
the chocobo carriage, right? And we're all just gonna take everything and go to Gridania.
So that sounds like a good plan.
Yeah. So you're gonna take everything, including the bandit corpses.
Yes.
Yeah.
The whole
Okay,
shebang.
the whole shebang. Okay, cool. All right. So, Jin's gonna nod at the suggestion, and you guys start loading the corpses up. They haven't smelled yet, thanks to the rain doing their job, and you kind of take the 3 twin adders out of their well, out of their unseemly repositioned kind of like poses. And you notice, Lelafan pulls some cards and she says a few words quietly to the corpses. You guys don't really understand what she said, but judging from the tone, it seems to be kind of putting their bodies and their souls to rest. So you guys start loading the corpses. Who's loading? Can I get like an athletics check from like one or two people? It doesn't really matter how many.
I can help bring the bodies to
Okay.
the carts, but I'm not doing any heavy lifting.
Okay, I got a 12 there, and then a 24. Okay, perfect. That's fine. So I'm just gonna tell you now that this is you guys have 1 success in a 6 success 3 fails skill challenge. Okay, so because you guys are not too spent from the combat, you start loading the bodies, and they don't take very long, maybe 30 minutes to an hour at most. So it's starting to approach noontime, and are you guys going to depart right away or take a rest?
I think we can depart right away, can't we?
Okay.
I think as long as we're rotating shifts.
If
we'll
I
be
may,
fine.
could I take a little
So-
bit of a rest first in the cart, and then I'll pick up in a little while?
Yeah. So what I'll say is this: while you're in the cart, the people who are sitting in the cart, not driving, sitting in the cart at the back, can take a short rest. But the people who are dragging the carriage, who are dragging the carts or the chocobo carriage, or driving the chocobo carriage, cannot.
I'm just requesting the first short
Yeah.
rest.
So if you have, who do you have dragging the carts?
I can take a cart.
Yeah, so
I'll
you
take
have.
one of them as well.
I
Yeah, so
can't.
you have-
I can't. I'm too
I
small.
don't think
Yeah,
Momo's tall
so
enough.
Momomi can.
I can ride the car. I can drive the carriage.
Okay, so Momomi is
I have
driving
a
the
keen
carriage.
eye.
Felix is resting. Wolfan is resting, presumably, and then we have Stern, Lona, and Mars carrying carts. Is that amenable to everyone?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll say while they're resting, I'll keep like watch from the cart. Does that make sense?
Okay. You can still have a short rest though, as
Okay.
you're not doing anything.
I'm in a
Streams.
notebook most of the time, so I'm not paying attention.
Okay.
Before we set off, I motion over towards Yafan and I dig into the pouch and I take out 10 gold. Yep, 10. And I hand it to him, right? I drop it into his hand and I say, give this to the rest of the party. You two. 2 each.
Got it.
And I go back to the cart.
Okay, I'll hop back over onto the chocobo cart and split the gold before we depart.
Okay. So we can deal with the gold math in a little bit. I kind of want to.
Yeah, I'm not too concerned about
Yeah,
it.
I want to like
I-
press
I-
a little bit forward.
I needed to do that because it's for something later.
Okay, perfect. So, as you guys depart, 2 hours pass without too much going on. You're at a decent walking pace, not too fast, not too slow. It's kind of just a relaxed pace. So the people dragging the carts, they're not too strained, and obviously the people who are driving aren't having too much problems. So, as you guys continue along your path, the rain starts to kind of like wane out, and the rain eventually stops. As you guys follow this winding road that starts to kind of lean to the right, and it leans eastward, slowly distancing itself from this large river that you guys had seen earlier. And you're following the planned out route. And the clouds start to dissipate. Wait, can you guys all see the map?
Yeah.
Yeah, I just had to zoom out, but
Alright.
I see it.
That's great. Okay, so yeah, you're starting at the south side, and as you kind of progress along this road. Sorry, who has the highest passive?
Not I.
Because it's not okay.
Like-
Yeah, sorry, Lelafan, who's also in the carriage. Her ears kind of perk up, and she turns behind as she says, "There are whistles. We're being followed." And as the rest of you guys turn your heads, you notice that there are about, you can't really count them because they're still pretty far away, but you see a bunch of chocobos chasing or making chase, and there are bodies on the chocobos, presumably mounting them. And here's the skill challenge. First of all, you guys have any thoughts on who or what they are?
We mean bodies. There are people riding them, not
Bandits?
like strewn across them.
No.
Like there.
Okay.
Yeah, there are people riding
The
them. yes.
chocobos are.
That's what it sounded
carrying
like
the bodies
almost.
one.
Okay.
No,
Well-
they're chocobo riders. From what you can see.
Do bandits normally have chocobos?
I mean, anyone
They-
can have a chocobo. Like
but,
it's
like,
like
yeah,
kind of
out
like a
of-
horse.
yeah.
Like I think anyone could have it, right?
Yeah. Yeah, out of character. Yeah, they do.
Okay.
Yeah, they're like
Out-
they're the common mount. So
Out of
it's
character,
Not,
they're horses.
yeah, they're horses.
Okay.
They're
I'd like to pull
feathered
out some
horses.
stones and get them ready.
Yeah. Okay, you ready your stones? So this is a skill challenge, because it's kind of really weird to do combat in a, how do I say it?
Moving
In
arena. Yeah.
like a chase situation. Yeah. So
It's not like we're going fast.
That's why
Yeah.
we stop and fight
Mhm.
them.
there are a lot of them as they start to come closer into view. Like
Alright.
at least
I have
15.
8 intelligence.
Okay.
Okay.
I have an idea. You gotta work with me here. Well, I gotta work it out, I guess. So I'm gonna link presentation real quick.
Okay.
Right? There's one line that says you can make a color, small mark, or symbol appear on an object for 1 hour.
Uh huh.
Or I can do, the bottom one. Whatever, it's gonna be between those two, whatever you think is more reasonable in the situation. And either I want to like, how fast are like our carts going? Like, is it like, would it be feasible for me to hop out, cast it, and then hop back in, like catching up to it?
Oh
Or
yes,
is
yes,
that-
of course. Yeah, the carts
As fast
are
as
going,
Mars can pull them, essentially. Yeah.
Yeah. No. So right now you guys aren't running, right?
Like
Because you've
just
just
Mars.
seen this group of people. Okay. And so currently you have 1 success, and you need 6 total. And yeah, you're going at a hot speed of 1 mile per hour.
So the
One-
idea is like a deception leaning kind of check to
Okay.
make either like a trinket like in my hand that I can throw like in the air or something that they can see and they're like, what is that? Or it's like I put a symbol on the ground to be like, hey, maybe that's like a dangerous spell or something, because like they're pretty far, so like realistically, can they
Okay.
tell?
Okay,
Right.
so yeah, they are pretty far. So you could jump out and like motion casting something, right? Using
Yeah, like,
prestidigitation. So
kind of like overwork the cast, if that makes sense.
yeah, like really act it out.
Yeah.
Okay. You can. I'll let you roll a persuasion for it, even though like performance would probably be better. But you don't have proficiency.
I could
in
do
that.
either deception or persuasion. I'm both
Okay, yeah, do deception. It's the same
deception.
roll.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so as you motion and do a really grand casting, you pull your rapier out and you kind of like have it just on top with your focus at the bottom, right? And
Mhm.
you stand outside of the cart, for a good 15-20 seconds, and all the while kind of casting prestidigitation, behind, and create this huge glyph in the ground that kind of looks like a pentagram inside of a circle, and it's glowing blue, and you notice that the pursuers start to slow down with a group peeling with both groups peeling around. How far away are you casting the glyph? Are you casting it like on you or like super far away?
No, like I just want to put it like on the path to maybe like slow them in any way. So like if
Okay,
it
yeah.
forces them like for
Yeah,
example,
so
let me see
yeah,
if I roll.
so
Like if it
they
forces them to go like through
okay,
here and then
okay.
through here, like if I put it in this area or something, or if they have to like dodge around here, like anything like that, like
yeah.
nothing like crazy because it's just a narrow
Yeah,
path. You know?
so yeah, so what you've done is you've placed a glyph here that kind of looks
We
like a
on them.
pentagram. It's
Oh,
super
okay.
cool like that, right?
Mhm.
And noticing that they can't exactly go into this small area, they split off into rougher terrain, which slows them down quite a bit. And you kind of like seeing that your glyph is casted properly, you run up, you run back to the cart and jump on, and proceed. Okay, so that's 2 successes.
Where's the chocobo music, dude?
Oh, sorry, I have other music for this. I forgot to turn it on.
Is Mars the only one
Is this
pulling the
fucking
carts right
Naruto
now?
music?
No, Mars and
For me.
and Lona are carrying are dragging carts.
Ramona? What if we see how?
So another option, because like it's kind of like a freebie here. The people who are pulling the carts can make athletics checks to speed up, if you guys want. But yeah, both of you, technically both of you guys can make the check if you like.
Sure. We're going fast.
Okay. Stern. Okay, so Mars, as you're pulling your cart, you notice when Lolafan talks about being pursued, and then you see like a glyph being formed behind you, and in the heat of the moment, you realize that you really need to pick up the pace. So, drawing on your inner power and perhaps a really good breakfast, you manage to double your pace, and the chocobo carriage starts to speed up to match you guys. Yeah, you really press your feet to the ground. You're kind of using the power in your legs that you would normally use in a jump to propel yourself forward at a faster rate. Stern Lona, unfortunately, you with your cart stumble a little bit, and it kind of gets stuck on one of the rocks on the path, and it takes you a little while to pull it forward. And
can I do something right before, whereas I see that happening?
By you. Sorry, what's up? Yeah, you can.
They're gonna gain on us, Lona. Keep going. And I use deployment tactics on Lona.
Yeah, loop.
I can when I see her kind of get stuck and stuff for a moment, I want to give her more movement so she can keep going. You know.
You're gonna have to roll something for me on that. Let me take a look.
Are you deleting your stuff as soon as
No.
you like put them in? By the way, because
Why is it deleting?
It's
on my
deleting.
Screen?
Yeah, I'm gonna just roll it my check again with
really
that.
Weird.
Because you've seen that, right, Katie? It's happening with
Yeah,
like all of
it
your shit.
pops up and then it
Everything-
deletes multiple
No.
times.
It counts as a fail for you, and then Brick has to
Trying to succeed on his.
yeah, has to succeed on his. Okay, just roll me a straight in. Okay.
Oof.
You try and cast deployment tactics on Stern Lona, but unfortunately it does not work, as she is still trying to get the cart out of its jam. Yeah, no, she can't hear you super well. No, she's still trying to get the cart out of its jam, so this extra movement that you've granted her is not effective in speeding her up. And as that happens, 2 crossbow bolts whiz through the air and hit Stern Lona, dealing. Let me do this real quick. 6 damage.
As
All right,
as this happens,
that's 2 fails, 3 successes.
I
One more
like to
fail, and
Bring up the chase music.
Is Fan in the cart with me?
yes.
I mean the chocobo. Okay. I'm
No,
gonna
you're driving the cart.
I'm gonna tell Fan to take over.
Okay.
I roll to the back and then I would like to suppressing fire behind. Into the crowd of chocobo riders. As many bullets as possible in the time allotted. And
okay.
I'll take off the bullets from my inventory too.
Let's see, let's do an aim thing, right?
Fine, you got this, right?
Okay, let's see. If you're trying to make hold on, if you're trying to make shots on a moving target on a moving cart, I guess that would be dexterity. Give me a dex.
Just a straight dex roll.
Yeah.
Ability check. Normal. Oof.
Okay. You know, you're making these shots as a. Oh my god. As you try to slow the enemies down, and they largely go wide, so they don't slow their pace. Almost unaffected by your shots entirely. Anyway, you guys have accumulated three fails, so you've actually you failed the skill challenge. So as you guys are,
You said we needed 6 successes.
I thought we had
Yeah,
3 successes.
We need 6 successes.
before you fail 3 times. Yeah. So the flock of chocobo riders begins to approach you guys. As they get closer and closer, Jin kind of turns around and she shouts, "Leave the bodies." What are you guys gonna do? Are you guys gonna
How many are
leave
there?
the bodies?
How many
The
are
carts,
there?
rather? Pardon? Okay, so there's I'm pretty sure there's like 5 on each. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, there's 5 on each. One of the carts has.
No, how many
adders
enemies
and
are there?
bandits, and how many?
Okay.
You see at least 15.
That's a lot of enemies.
I think we're fighting. Let's go.
Well, okay, so there are still options here. Yeah, so.
Yeah, like fighting.
Oh my god. So yeah, so Jin says to leave the bodies. I mean, you guys can listen, or you guys can try and turn around and fight.
Which
what are
card
we
am
doing?
I? Which card am I going? Which
Um,
card do I have?
Well, let's say that you can say which card you have now.
Do you
I
have
don't
the
really mind.
adders?
Yeah, if you have the adders, then you can drop 1 card and then keep running, and then I'll count that as 1 fail gone. But essentially, you're gonna have to start, like, you can't just make these checks now. You have to like sacrifice something, if that makes sense.
Can I have the adders and the captain?
Yes, you can throw a body off and keep running with your card.
I think you meant, can he have the cart that has
Yeah.
the adders
Yeah.
and
And you
Alright,
can throw off like
I'm
an
gonna
extra
drop
bandit body.
I'm gonna drop my cart and start pushing Mars' cart.
Okay. Roll me an athletics check.
Is this with advantage because we're both pushing?
No, because Mars has already succeeded. So okay, so you hear Jin's instruction and you're like, fuck this shit. So you drop this card that you've been trying to get out of this hole for a while, and you sprint over to Mars. Okay, you know, you can hear your breath starting to fucking go ragged as you jump in beside Mars and start pushing this card as fast as you guys can. At this point, you are matching or almost matching the speed of the chocobo carriage, and Fawn, who is riding, you know, gives a hya, and you guys start to just book it the fuck out of there, trying to get to a safer area. Right.
Is that cart, like, the one he dropped, did it just, like, stop, or is it, like, still have momentum?
No, it's been stuck, and he's been trying to pull it out.
Okay, so it's still stuck on the.
Yeah,
rock, okay.
it's not moving. Yeah, and it's on the road. If anyone has any interesting ideas.
I did if
Cast
it was still
fireball
moving,
on it.
but
Yeah.
that's what, I was gonna try to set it on fire if it was still going back, but let's see here.
It would be so
I
nice
cast
if I had my bomb.
I don't
right
really
now.
have anything to set it on fire.
Nah, I don't have anything right now.
Well, I have oil,
Buy oil.
actually.
I keep this in mind for
I do have
future.
lantern oil.
I have torches, but it would take a while. But I'm also concentrating on shooting.
Well, yeah, I can say that you tried it and it didn't work, so you can attempt something else.
Oh, how many bullets would I use for that?
Okay, I'll say that you've used like 5 already, trying to
Okay.
suppress them in your first time.
Okay.
But you have to try something specifically different. Yeah.
Okay, that's fine.
And a different check. Otherwise, it would just let you just do the same thing that you have the best stat in. So it's like once you failed it, it constitutes your best attempt.
Okay.
Okay, the only other thing I can really think of with what I have, because I only have flare points, I don't have actual spell slots, is the only thing I could think of is if I could maybe make like an Arcana check and use flare points to convert to a spell slot,
I'll allow it.
and
Yeah.
maybe be able to use shield like around the cart, or like maybe give the reins back and use myself as the shield, like if I position myself well or something. So like block the shots
Okay,
or whatever.
I'll let you roll Arcana. If that one succeeds, it won't count as a success because that's just that's a roll to try out what you want it to do, and then you'll have to do an acrobatics afterwards.
What are you trying to do, Gafon?
You have acro?
No. To use my shield spell to either shield the cart itself or to cast the shield on myself to just like block.
Oh, just roll an Arcana. You can shield the cart. Yes.
Okay.
Okay. So toss the reins off and kind of let the cart drive itself as your chocobo, who you haven't named yet, by the way.
Yeah, I was gonna bring that up, but
yeah, as your chocobo sprints in the direction of Gridania, and as the horizon kind of like as you peek just over the horizon, just over this hill, you see Gridania proper. Okay, you can see the wood gates of Gridania. Okay, and anyway, you fucking vault over the back of this carriage, right? You pull your rapier and focus out again, and you cast shield on the cart just before a volley of crossbow bolts hits the carriage, and they deflect off. And so this concludes the skill challenge. And as you guys start to approach just the outskirts of Gridania, right? These bandits, or they're not bandits, maybe they're bandits. Sorry, that's my bad. These chocobo riders that you don't know who they are, my bad. Surround your cart and start dismounting. Yeah, my bad. They surround your cart and carriage and stop named Chocobo, and start dismounting all around the party, unsheathing their weapons, and that's where we're gonna end.
Okay.
Oof.
Yeah,
we did it.
You guys
no.
succeeded the skill challenge. Okay, so this is a success. But you'll see what I mean later. Yeah.
Here's
so
the thing. We don't need to know if we succeeded or we
Mhm.
failed. We just need to know what situation we're in now.
Yeah.
yeah. You guys are surrounded. You guys are surrounded by about 15 or so bandits.
Oh, whoa. Chocobo riders.
Sorry, 15 or so chocobo riders that may or may not be bandits.
They look like the same kind of bandits we've been fighting, but may or may not be bandits.
Yeah.
Right.
How was the skill challenge? Do you guys find it fun?
Yeah.
I thought it was fun.
I thought it was kind of cool
I'm
because
sorry
like
for your guys' roles, but it was fun.
Oh my
What are you
god.
talking
I
about?
think
I am two of our 6 successes.
So
I.
what I wanted to do for my next one, if we failed again somehow,
Yeah.
I was gonna try to rig my sentry to fucking explode by shoving a bunch of flammable stuff into it and then tossing it on the ground.
Okay. Yeah, so
It would cost me to repair it by like a lot of gold, but it would have to be a sacrifice that I had to do.
yeah, I thought that it would be pretty fun doing a skill challenge with like the chase thing, and it's like whatever you do like slows them down or like makes you guys speed up and that sort of thing. Yeah, I thought that was pretty fun.
Was he?
Do you guys like knowing how many fails you can accomplish?
No.
You can accumulate, or how many
No.
successes? Because that's
No.
that's
No.
what
I
that's
think
what
it's better to
Coldwell
just
said
let it
to do.
progress and just
Okay.
Yeah.
don't tell us the outcome or like our progression.
Don't show us how the sausage is made.
Really? Okay, because like that is one thing. Like I watched the video and he was like, yeah, I always tell them like how many successes and how many fails they have to they can accumulate before
I think he also
failing or
does something
succeeding the check entirely.
interesting in that he does like progressively worse fail states, right? So if you failed the check, there's still a chance to succeed, but you're going to be in a worse position than if you had just succeeded outright.
Oh no, that's the case
Right.
here as well.
Like successive checks.
Yeah, that is the case here as well. So,
Because we left the cart, right? We left one of the cards.
exactly. So like that is a worse state, right? And then another worse state would be if you had accumulated another fail and you need to succeed at a cost, right? Which means you would have to lose the other card, for example, right? And then another thing actually was, I kind of had a pseudo. I had two pseudo successes. Okay, the first pseudo success was you loading the cards taking less time, right? And the second pseudo success, the second pseudo failure was that you guys didn't clear out the bandit camp, and then the people who were left there didn't hear back from their ambush party, right? So they went and got additional help, which is the pseudo fail state, which is what accounts for the number of enemies that are present. Yeah.
Well, that was fun. Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah. I'm gonna
hope
stop
you guys
recording,
liked
Nick.
the skill challenge.
I'm gonna stop
And
recording.
your new. What's up?